so devoted, but I bet they know it, they gon' have to focus on the block. Yeah, dropping the hottest, we never been novice, we never been modest, we got it, time to let them know.
And our two competitors today, we have Jacob Sherman and we have Mr. Aidan Bound. And welcome to our coverage of the U.S. Amateur Match Play Championship. Joined here by Mr. Devin Gneiting. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to watch some Morley disc golf.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I think anyone's really had some good coverage of Morley, so hopefully this will show off the course well.
Yeah, so we got hole one here. You got a forehand option or a backhand option. I think these guys are both opting for a forehand, which it's not the play that I would go for, but that brings that little low ceiling in there.
Worked out well for Jacob that time, it looks like.
Yeah, that was actually a good shot. To get into those trees is the tough part. Getting around that corner, so that's a pretty common mistake, is just hitting those guardian trees, and then you're pretty much not putting.
And I think Jacob threw an Ati from Westside Discs, so it's kind of like super overstable fairway. I think Nico bags one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I having not seen this, I figure we'll see a lot of what Morley produces. We get those good drives, easy putt, bad drive, hard putt.
Yeah, for sure. And a good upshot there by Aiden, but all for naught. So Jacob's going to tap in that birdie. Going to take the first hole.
One for Jacob, one for Aiden.
So hole two, it looks like Jacob's going to go with that new Clint Calvin Claymore.
Ooh.
The most alliterative disc in the game.
Yeah, and this hole's just a little uphill, a little bit of low ceiling. That's the perfect shot. I mean, that's pretty hard to do. It's going for the forehand. Also looks pretty good, maybe a little short.
Too. But both should have putts inside the circle. I think Aiden might have a tree there to contend with. Might have to get a little creative.
Yeah, it's kind of the name of the game. I mean, I guess anywhere, but Morley's really trying to find that straight line to the basket, which can be tough even if you're inside the circle. Oh, the left side there.
So there's a big opportunity to go up 2-0 here. Cold-blooded in the heart of the chains, he does it. So Aiden, you know, he has his work cut out for him here. Moving on to hole three.
Yeah, I guess with match play, you're win a few holes and you're limiting your chances here.
Mm-hmm. This is hole three. I struggle with this one a lot. You know, a lot of times you have a good amount of tailwind. It's going to make your disc stronger, so you want to throw maybe something a little less stable, and you really, you know, that ridge right there that Jacob kind of ran into, throwing it low, you get over that and the gravity will play with you. So
yeah, you gotta get back in those trees in that dark area you can see in the distance there. Yeah, that's a pretty good shot down there.
It looks good. The pin placement this week, I believe, was to the left, so he's going to be kind of up the hill looking down at it. But yeah, you know, you get a putt, you get down there, you get a putt.
Looks like a pretty simple, nice up
perfect
shot right there for tap in par. He's got to make something work here.
Look at the flexibility.
Do those lunges.
Just a bit high, but should be all right.
Yeah, a little tester comebacker.
But just a bit off to the left side again. Once again, that'll give Jacob the advantage.
Yeah, and you said that Aiden struggled a little bit putting in this round, which gets all of us.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Putting yips. I haven't seen Aiden play before, so I don't know how he normally puts.
Yeah, well, he has a crush of a forehand, and he actually walk-off aced hole 14 at Kit Carson to get to the finals here.
Oh, wow.
With the sidearm. So he kind of flexed it over the creek. And a little long, but that's perfect. I mean, that's exactly where I want to land, is up on that road there.
Oh, and he just didn't make it around that corner into that tree.
Yeah,
this can be actually a tricky upshot too, because you're dealing with that canyon beyond and all these trees in the way. That looked good though.
Navigated it well.
A little bit of a death putt here.
And just low. So they'll push the hole here, but they'll both par out.
Oh, and Jacob actually held up, huh? So a lot of times what happens is you end up way down in that ditch, and then you...
Yeah, didn't get too bad of a rollaway. I actually got hit with a disc while I was filming there. Someone threw a drive on 5, and that beamed me right
That's always fun.
In the leg.
All right, so this is Morley's long hole. That's in quotations, but it does play pretty long. It's 400 something.
And you see Jacob was kind of expecting his disc to lift there, which it often does. You know, this is probably the hole with the biggest headwind.
Yeah, you get that little pocket of air too, and it sort of can flip your disc over if your angles aren't right.
That's a great shot from Aiden. That's a backhand Malta.
That's great.
It's a P McB Malta, so that's an overstable mid-range that he's throwing, 350 feet on pure hyzer. It is downhill, but that's a great shot.
And this is always a tough green with this pyramid. You got that really elevated basket. Yeah. Going for putts is scary.
Yeah, you really got to commit.
Yeah. Oh.
And you can hear him. He can't believe it.
Yeah, and he knew that was his chance to get one back right there.
But Jacob still has this, He's got to step up and make this, or Aiden will likely win the hole here. This will be for par.
Nice putt.
And unflappable. Jacob's been solid so far. And then, this is no, at least for me, on this basket, is no gimme
I think
either.
anything, unless you're sitting right at the base of the pyramid, really, any of these are tester putts. You catch that wind a little bit, it's so easy to send your putt right by, and then you're minimum 20 feet away. So.
I've 3-putted it many a time.
All right, we got hole 6 here, slightly uphill, little gap. Those 2 trees you see in front have pretty much been chopped down by discs over the years. They do come into play, but they're not too hard to get. But you have a lot of guardian trees coming into the green. So that's the hard part, is you really need to swing the hyzer in. You can't really make it through those trees, and a lot of times you end up, with 2 meter if you don't get past them.
You kind of need to fade in from the right or just throw a laser low. I think that's what Aiden was going for there, just turned it over too much.
A little bit of a thrower there. You can see that basket protected 100% by trees.
And a great run by Jacob, just high off the band.
And this is for par, correct?
It is, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so Aiden's going to have to take the bogue and drop another hole here. So he needs to get it going soon, or it's going to be a runaway. So.
Yeah. Well, we're coming into hole 7, where it really is the anything can happen hole.
Yeah, and for sure. And both these guys, they had such a good attitude about everything. It was a good time all around. I think this is that Clint Calvin Claymore again, but he just turns it over too much.
Not the worst place you can be, but not a great drive.
Not really a birdie look.
Wow.
That was pretty great. Yeah. So
yeah.
There's that sidearm.
That was a great shot.
Aiden.
To get through those trees, too, is tough. There's a lot of discs up in those trees.
Mm-hmm. And an honest bid there on the upshot.
Nice upshot.
Those are Special Blend Marshalls, I believe. Jacob putts with.
Another tricky putt here.
That's your typical Morley putt right there.
Yeah, up over a branch, under another branch.
So he didn't get one back, but stops the bleeding. Both players are going to par out. Move on to hole 8.
Yeah, and I would say hole 8's really a birdie to win hole.
For sure. And the hardest hole to film. This green is like all shaded. Then out here is all sunny, so it's kind of hard to see people. But that worked out great for Jacob there. That's he's going to be a little short, but in the circle should have a putt.
Yeah, this is like a 300-foot, pretty much straight guardian tree, so you can come in hyzer or go in forehand, either way.
I typically opt for a fairway driver on this hole, but I think the pro play would probably be a mid, a more stable mid. So to win another one, Jacob for the putt. Just high, but
Didn't like it, but it went in.
It sticks. And we hit him with the replay here.
That's one of those, you think you're going to hit the band, but then it's a little bit lower than you thought. Oh,
Hole 9, and that's just too high.
are we over in the left placement here? Is that where?
Yes. So it's going to be down the tunnel to the left, and it's wide open at the start, but then it, you got to throw into this kind of low ceiling down there, so it'll be okay. And that'll be okay. I think he missed his gap, but it should be fine. And that's a mistake from Jacob. Behind that tree, there's usually nothing in the way. So Aiden has the green light to lay this up, runs it, and pays the price, and the wheels kind of fall off here. So should have played strategy there in hindsight. But it happens to the best of us. So
Looks like he's focusing a little too hard just on the basket, not looking at his surroundings.
So despite the big mistake, Jacob Sherman's gonna take another one there as he reps Team Freedom Flight discs, and he goes up 6-0. So this one's actually gonna be straight down the gap to the right, kind of up on the ridge. It's in the shorter position, and Jacob's just, I don't know, maybe he caught the wind there, but it's gonna come up short. Aiden's going to show us the sidearm route, which is kind of more the traditional route here.
Yeah, you either need a nice fading sidearm or a...
He saws it off.
Yeah, he did.
But he gets all the way through and almost dunks it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not the typical line, but that was an impressive result for the shot he
Absolutely.
just
He's fortunate, but he'll take it. He needs it.
made. Nice up shot.
Yeah, that was a good effort there.
So he needs to make his first putt for his first hole here.
He's got it. And he takes the hole.
There
so
he goes.
He gets on the board. He's putting with Wizards, I believe. And he likes to flick Firebirds. So I think that's kind of the bulk of what we've been seeing on his flick shots. I know he has Thunderbirds in the back too, I believe.
So this little downhill shot, pretty significantly downhill, little hyzer, but you need that hyzer to sort of push forward and not so much swing left. That's a
that'll be
decent
okay.
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally putting from there.
35-footer from there.
Yeah.
This is kind of the signature hole at Morley.
Yeah, the mistake a lot of people make is end up turning it over too much or going too straight, and then you end up in those trees and you leave yourself with, you could only be 35 feet out, but you have nothing. Drained it.
Good catch by the basket. That's a great putt from Jacob there. Good bounce back hole. He's going to take this one as well. It's like he's going to make it 7-1, I think.
Yeah, Aiden's struggling here.
He's running out of holes.
Yeah, he is running out of holes.
This is our fun little scoreboard we came up with. Thought it was neat.
I like it. That's great. When you don't have fancy graphics, you make your own. That's what you do. All right, so this is a uphill hole. It's a hard one to keep the disc nose down while throwing that far up because of that bush right in your way right there.
And this one just gets away from him. That's way
and that's kind of what I was talking about. You throw that nose up and then you get that fade out or stall and you end up way over to the left in those trees. And that looks a little better.
Yeah, and that actually looks perfect off the tee, but gets the nastiest tree hit and roll away. That was going to be parked.
Yeah, that's one of those where you walk up and say, wait, what? I thought my breath was better than this.
Going for the forehand roller, in dismay at first, gets through, throw the hands up.
You made it through.
And a little turn back towards the basket.
Yeah, that's all what can you say about that?
And the leopard mask. I got style, what can I say?
So Aiden, yeah, exactly. So he kind of learned from from what he didn't do on hole
earlier mistake.
on hole
Just lay
hole
it
9.
up, get the point.
Lay it up, take the hole, and which he'll do.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
7-2. He's not out of it yet. He's going to have to put together some.
Well, he's coming to the stretch of running holes. I feel like 13 to about 17 are the most birdiable holes on this course.
Well, there's nothing really long left on the course. You know, nothing over. I don't even think 350. Maybe
Anything over 300.
Maybe
is it?
19. Yeah, maybe not. This is the aforementioned hole 13, and this is in the short position. So this is a birdie or die hole right here.
Right, yeah, little 200 foot, 220, something like that.
Yeah, both these guys, I think Aiden went with like a pig or a rhino, something like that. And then this is that Marshall out of Jacob, and that's nicely done right there. They both should have a look at it. It's not hard to get close on a lot of these holes, but where you are in the circle is really important.
For sure, just whether you have a clean line at the basket or not. You see all these bushes and little eucalyptus trees all around these baskets. Sometimes you end up in this awkward footing, or you don't have an angle at it, even though you're only 25 feet away sometimes.
You know, because that's the difference. Both of those were good drives, and you know, one player had to take the knee and ends up 2 inches low, and Jacob takes advantage. So we're getting to the point to where I believe if Jacob wins one more, he's going to mathematically take it here with running out of holes. Morley actually has 19 holes, so keep that in mind if you're doing the math.
So this is a pretty much backhand only hole.
Yeah.
You really need to throw the disc about 150, 175 feet straight, and then let it fade out and fade hard, because that hole, the basket's way around the corner.
See, and that shot looks good, but it just gets hung up by that tree there, so it's a really specific angle in which you have to penetrate the green from.
Not a bad upshot at all. So this is going to be for Jacob to take one more right here, huh?
Yep.
Boom. Center.
I think that actually clinched it for Jacob there, so we'll show you the rest of the course, but the number of holes
Jacob's
left.
going to be our champion.
Jacob's the champ. And that's a fun hole, because if you turn it over, you can blast the pro shop, which is always fun.
This is Morley's infamous ace run hole in the position on the pyramid. You can see the basket right there off the tee, elevated up. But there is OB right to the right of that basket. And that's actually
Which both players avoid, so.
yeah, perfectly fine drive. But right behind the basket, on this elevated basket, there's OB.
That's a pretty decent effort there. The wind is usually pretty bad, and
Ooh.
both players are just off, so they'll tap out their pars and they'll move on. Yeah, you don't see that kind of flex sidearm route on this ace run often. But if you're more comfortable with the sidearm and you feel like you can drop it on a dime with that OB, you know, to the right, go for it. And this one's going to be to the right, up the ridge in the distance,
Yeah,
behind
there's
all the trees.
Clump of olive trees there that are pretty nasty, and you really need to get it over or around. Wow, that was
And that was perfect.
Yeah.
Out of his hand, I thought it was going to be short, but it ended up working out really well.
That looks good.
And this is, I would say, the more traditional play. It's the big spike sidearm,
That would be pretty good.
which is also really nicely done.
yeah, very nice. Yeah, those are two good drives.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jail there behind the basket.
I've
Which is
lost
easy to
many a
get.
disc in that tree.
Yeah, not a long hole, but definitely could be tricky in this position. All right, looks like Aiden, maybe knowing he doesn't have a chance, is a bit more comfortable now.
Could be. I think, you know, it just, sometimes it can take you a while to get going.
For sure.
I know that's true for me.
sure.
And he does. I mean, I think he finishes off with some good
This is the
birdies.
infamous 17th hole. Got not much of a fairway. You can see this gap. It is tinier even in person. And
And Aiden with the Waikiki sneaky, he's going to
Wow.
park it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, this is Morley's, it's kind of our imitation of the spider hole at Oak Grove. So it's kind of a cool hole. There's a million different routes you can take to get there. oftentimes involving luck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, rarely do you get there straight in the air on.
Yeah.
Some kinds of
And
bounce.
this is just the kind of camera work you can expect out of missed putts here.
I'd love
Climbing the
this, you know,
tree.
this is
It's the vertical top-down bird's eye view.
It's called the Nate drone right there.
And 18, my camera actually died here, so we're just going to see catch cam of Jacob swinging it in to the bottom of the hill. You see the basket up there on that hill. So that'll be an uphill putt.
Yeah, typically you do a spike hyzer here. These guys are opting for a little more of a flat hyzer, which can work out as well. You end up down at the bottom of the hill, though.
That's the danger with throwing it too low, though, is you'll penetrate too far when really it's almost more than a 90-degree angle that you're trying to come back at it. So, and we missed Jacob's putt on this as well, so they're both going to par out. So,
Oh yeah, Jacob really did work early. This is a very different sort of back half of the course, but all the work's done.
so if you think about it, for Aiden, he's had his struggles today, but since hole 10, he's like 2 or 3 down.
Yeah.
So he's a really good player, and he'll come back from this.
It's
And
here.
that's a great drive.
Really great
That's a tough gap. Most players are going to throw the backhand to the right and try to skip up. And this is something you don't see often here out of Aiden, which is sort of the big flex
Get out.
sidearm.
Yeah, it's a very low percentage shot there.
Fall down.
But it works out okay.
That was actually great.
He's in the shade, so he'll be nice and comfortable for his putt.
Oh, just off, just a
So in the heart of the chains with that putt. In the Raptor legs. Jacob Sherman. He's going to Emporia, Kansas. See if he can win it all.
Let's go. Great round. So good.
Nice.
And congratulations to Jacob Sherman, Team Freedom Flight Discs. He's going to take it over Aiden 10-3 at Morley Field. He'll be moving on to Emporia, Kansas, I think 3rd week of September. Devin, thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. That's fun. It's fun to see coverage of lesser known courses.
And you guys take care.